This was against their agenda to continue oppressing and subjugating the masses, subjugating the Hindus, whom they were directly have a voice. And that is why today the UN has officially recognized and seen and given a voice for all of the victims of violence, victims of gender-based violence against Hindu women and against the women of Kailasa. And in so many studies of undertaken by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to analyze exactly how the victims of femicide and gender-based violence are being treated, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has brought so many concrete measures, femicide, and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has also ensured to report the good practices and the challenges of continuously advocate for the thousands and millions of Hindu women who are continuously being subjugated, oppressed, and crimes and violence that has been attacked against the women of Kailasa. And though this report is to work to eliminate the crimes done against women and allow justice to be served in some way. Now, actively helping the targeted individuals who are targeted for femicide and gender-based violence. And these specific lineages of endangered lineages of ancient, of Hindu and the targeted populations who are vulnerable to femicide and to gender-based killings and more different types of violence. And not only that, concrete measures have been taken. So many different people. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is a foremost advocate and foremost leader working to eliminate the crimes done against women. And we have seen these Adinams and Sarvagnapitas and these ancient sovereign nations, ancient Hindu kingdoms of the Tanjavur, Tiruvarur, and all of these places, these has been working to empower the women in each and every one of these by providing a media against so many women, directed attacks in order to sexualize and subjugate women and absolutely dehumanize the system, and ultimately to use them as and weaponize women against the destruction, the various evidence that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has literally worked so hard in order to voice out, to bring the international attention, undergone so much, and yet still not having a platform to voice out and to share and to heal from what monasteries that were entirely attacked simply because they were ecosystems which were meant to empower Hindu women and which were meant to continuously, relentless persecution has been launched against them. If we see the attack in Pavlikundru, for example, over a series of just a few months, even for any crime, but simply because they were there standing to protect the deities and protect the ecosystem. Sannyasis of Sovereign Order of Kailasa and the Hindu women who stand guard to protect the Hindu deities and to protect some of them brutally raped. We can see here the destruction of the entire monastery of Pavlikundru in 2017. And these brave Hindu whole world with the sacred sentiments of Sanatana Hindu Dharma were absolutely dehumanized, raped, and violated to the most extreme. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism over the last 2 decades, their their incidences of victimization and their experiences are brought out to the international. Cars overturned where the women were brutally raped in front of the public, and there was so much done to destroy the entire Adinam. And a raid of 300 anti-Hindu militants, sannyasis. We saw the literal stoning of Hindu sannyasis, the destruction of property, and the most brutal violence that people of without any current, without any form of protection. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has literally ensured that the crimes done against our voices and our hardships, our experience of extreme suffering does not go unnoticed and made invisible to the whole world. At least in this sense, to protect each and every one of us. Today, the UN has finally recognized the persecution done against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and the women of Kailasa. And despite having done all this, attacks continue against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and against specifically the women of Kailasa. And the victims and the targets of the vulnerable population and the indigenous Hindu women, and also by as well providing and aiding each and every one of the victims with providing the empowerment for women to be successful in their traditional business and art. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has done Kailasa after a sannyasi was brutally raped and needed to be rushed to the hospital immediately. And in this women only the immense amount of hard work that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has literally protected each and every one of us and made himself available with the Nithyananda Satsang, which we can please sit with your head, neck, and spine in a straight line. And let us chant the Mahavakya. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda. Sing the Mahavakya, and let us get ready for the darshan of the incarnation of Paramashiva.
Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivoham.